Hello, ladies. Victoria here. I really wanted to bring you a little treat today. And the treat is a friend of mine who just has the biggest heart. And I loved her heart so much. And she said she's going to interview. I'm going to talk to her a little bit about her work. This is Michele Powers. Good morning, Michele.
Good morning, Victoria. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm
Yes.
so happy that you're here. Y'all look how festive she is. I just love her. Her energy is so great. But her topic is really heavy. And
Yeah.
that's why I said, you know what? I really want her to share. And she sent me a note and she said, you know what? This would be the perfect week because I know a lot of people are suffering.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, this is great. So basically, Michele, I'm just going to let you tell the ladies what it is you do. And let's just say, I mean, I'm telling ladies in the group, we're looking at like a 15-minute interview here, maybe. But you'll be able to reach out to Michele later. I'll give you her contact if you really want to talk to her. Okay, Michele, tell us about you. I love it.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit
Thank you
about
so
you
much.
and then, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
first of all, I have a degree in talking, so I'll just try to keep it, light because I can take off. But my name is Michele Powers. I am a speech language pathologist. I taught special education for over 35 years in New York State schools, and I, had the life of Riley. Married to my soulmate for 35 years. We both had great careers that we loved. Um, and thoughts of retirement and just living the best life we could live. And then he got ill, and he passed away 11 years ago. So did I think I was ever going to be a widow at 56? That was not in my planning, not in my stars. But we had a wonderful life. And that's what I hold on to, is that for 35 years, this man made me laugh every single day of my life. And that, if anything, people say, what do you miss? That's what I miss. But the reason why Victoria and I got talking about this, because she and I are in another group, and I interviewed her to have her tell her story. And, we just got gabbing. But being a widow at 56, there are no books. There are no books that say, this is what it's going to be like. This is what you say. This is how people are going to treat you. There's no box. So, over these 11 years, I have just said, you know what? I need to pay it forward. I need to share my experiences with new widows, or widows a year in, widows 4 years in, 2 years in, because depending on how you became a widow, it all fits into the way you accept being a widow, the way you live with being a widow. And what really is very hard to understand is the way people treat you as a widow. I was just doing some reading this morning, and when I said to Victoria, this would be beautiful to do because the holidays are going to be tough, especially if you're a new widow, if this is your first year alone with the holidays. And what our friends and family, they're paralyzed also. They have no idea what to say to you. They have no idea how to treat you. 9 times out of 10, they don't talk about what happened because they don't want to get you upset. They don't want
Mhm.
you to be sad.
Mm.
That is something that I've tried to do over the 11 years, is to raise awareness on, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to cry. And it's okay if I want to stay in my pajamas today, I can stay in my pajamas all day because it's my grief. It's my way of moving through. And when people say to you, well, it's been 5 years, Michele, it's time to move on. To me, if I ever had a trigger word in my life, like Victoria, we taught kids and there were triggers that really set kids off. Move on is a trigger word for me. It really is, because
Mm.
I need to say to them, I will never move on past Patrick. He'll always be in my life. I will always celebrate his birthday. I will always celebrate our wedding anniversary, the birth of our child, memories that we have. But what I want to have people to start understanding is, as a widow, we're never going to move on, but we're going to move into our new life without our husband or without our wife or whomever you have lost. My brother just lost a son, my 40-year-old nephew. Um, Horrific. That in itself, to have a child predecease a parent, is beyond the realm and scope of what you can handle. But they will never move on past that. They won't. You couldn't. But they're going to move into a new life of memories that they had with my nephew and new traditions and things. This Christmas is our first Christmas without him, and it will be hard. But we're talking about it. That's the key. Once we stop talking about what has happened is when people start sinking into a place where it's hard to get out of. You know that people who and we just saw it on the news, somebody who was very jovial, very happy, very, you didn't know that he was suffering inside. So what Victoria and I were just talking about with our kids in school, instead of asking, why are you acting like that? Why is this happening? Maybe you should ask, what happened? What happened this morning? What happened on the bus? How can I help you? I'm here for you. The most important thing we can do for anyone who's had a loss, and lots of times, it can be, as a widow loss, a loss of a spouse, a loss of a child, a loss of a dear friend, is to validate the fact that they're feeling that loss. That's it. Don't try to fix me. Don't try to tell me what you feel I should be doing. I know they do it with a good heart. I don't believe that anyone is doing it maliciously. They do it with a good heart because they're suffering too.
And
They don't,
uncomfortable.
and
I'm
they're
thinking,
uncomfortable.
yeah, I'm thinking
They want you to be
uncomfortable.
happy. They want you to,
Yeah.
kind of turn that page. We are turning our pages. They may not be as fast as you feel we are. And what I decided to do, which is what kind of clicked with Victoria's, I started a widows group. And you can come in. I did this with a couple of my teacher friends that had lost their spouses. We did it the first Wednesday of every month. We went to Applebee's, and it was Wino Wednesday. That's why we went. Not that we had too much wine, but
Yeah.
the waitresses that were there, like, come on in, girls. And they'd be like, this is such a great little group. You can come in crying with our Wino Wednesday, with our Widow Wednesday, but you're going to be leaving smiling or in a different place than you were. Because I want you, if you come in and you need to cry, we are there to support you. We're there to get you through it. We're there to move you into looking at something a little differently. And we want you to be able to leave after being with like-minded gals, like-minded people that this has happened to, people who can validate that, yep, I'm not having a good day. That's okay.
Wow.
And you can leave with an open heart, a I don't want to say happier heart, but a fuller heart that wasn't as broken as it was when you came in.
When you came
So
in.
that,
So let me ask you this, Michelle, I love it. And ladies, that's what I loved about her. When she told me that, I thought, how giving of her to do that. But here's my question for you now, Michelle, for other ones of us who are not widows, thank God, right? But can I ask, like, what two things that one is I read that a lot of times after the initial um, burial and all the things that happen right then, that a lot of widows, a lot of people in whatever kind of suffering it is with a passing, that people we forget about them. Like, well, what about a month from now? Or what about a
yeah,
week from now? Or what about 2 months from now?
right,
So I want you to address that a little bit, if you will, and tell us how we might address them and say, what can I do for you or whatever.
right,
And then also, yeah, that's the biggest thing is for us
yeah.
that aren't in that position. What do we say?
And that's what I tell people. And I've had people, because I post a lot on Facebook about this, and I post in my stories, and I just, talk about the reality of it and the validation of it. And I've had friends call and say, or private message me, okay, my girlfriend just lost her husband. What do I do? What can I do? So
Yes.
what I say to them is, don't call, because you're going to get upset if I don't answer the phone. And if I can't answer the phone, I can't answer the phone, because now I'm going to feel bad that I made you feel bad that you thought of me so text me.
Oh, oh
Just
well.
text me. And all I want you to do when you text me is thinking of you. That's all I want you to do.
Wow.
Thinking of you, here
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
Let me know. That's all.
Okay.
If you need a shoulder, if you need an ear, as
Okay.
long as you open that up to me, I will most likely reach back to you. And if
Oh,
you say, you haven't been outside in a couple days, we're getting worried about you, I am
yes.
going to say, you know what? Let's just agree to disagree on what I am and am not doing. And until you walk a mile in my shoes, you'll never really know what is keeping me inside today.
Ah.
So that's okay. You know?
Michele, that's beautiful. I know you have more to say, and I want you to say it, but I just want to say at that moment, I mean, that touches me so much
Yeah.
because what a beautiful way to think about it. Instead of saying, because I would be one of those going, well,
Yeah.
come on, let me take you to the movies, or let's go
Yeah.
here, and maybe you don't want to get out of the bed,
Yeah.
So I love that if we just open it up and say, I'm here for you,
That's
then
it.
they can reach out to us. Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
Thinking
Okay.
thinking of you is so powerful. It is so powerful because I know people are thinking of me, and I knew they were. However, I just couldn't talk about it. I just couldn't. And I had to talk about it on my level when I was ready.
Yeah.
And if people, hi, I just want to, I may not be able to talk to you on the phone, but I can text you. I can. And
Oh
and
God,
I
that's
will when I'm ready, you
right.
know? And
Right. Right.
when people would say thinking of you, what I would say back was thank you so much. That would be to them, maybe not a good day. She can't talk today,
Yeah.
but I
Right.
knew that you did that, you know, um,
Oh,
dropping off a home cooked meal. Don't knock on my door. Please don't. Just, just,
okay.
just leave it at the doorstep. Text me,
Okay.
open your door, got you some food.
Oh, oh, that's such great advice. I mean, really,
Because
that's the
it,
kind of
it
thing we
really
need.
is, because people want to do that for you. But
Yes.
if you bring me over a casserole and
Yes.
expect to come in,
Yes.
then I have to entertain you. And I
Right. That's
am
a
just
burden.
not able to do it.
Mm.
So,
Wow. Michele, I just
yeah,
love this work that you do.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I want to get ready to wrap up because it's been about 15 minutes and I love it. I mean, I could really stay on here and chat, let you just go on and on, but I know
yeah.
you have a group for this and that is why I wanted you with us right now. So tell us a little bit, however you want to close and tell us about the group. Michele, it's priceless what you just shared with us. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
learned so much from you and I know
Thank
that
you.
others did too, and probably those who are suffering really appreciate it. So give
And
us
reach
some.
out. Yeah, reach
Oh
out to me.
gosh.
I'm on Facebook, Michele Saturnaw Powers. I have my maiden name in there because I have friends that knew me before I got married. But Michele Saturnaw Powers, and we'll put this in your group. Reach out to me. I'll also put my phone number. We can private message. But one thing I want to say for the holidays: the best gift that you can give someone who is suffering, and it doesn't always have to be suffering from a loss, but it can be just suffering. Um, Empathy and compassion is the best gift you can give someone during the holidays. What they have been going through recently and has made it okay for them to act that way. And you have to realize it's not, even though it might be a little projected towards you, it's not about you. It's about the way they're handling their
Mm,
loss.
right.
And
Right.
that's what people need to know. And that's why for these past 11 years, I have become an educator on how to help people who have been in law, who have had loss. So to me, empathy and compassion, validating. Here's another good thing you can do if you're texting somebody. I can't imagine what you're going through, because you can't. Unless you walked in
mhm,
my shoes, you cannot.
mhm, mhm,
You know,
mhm.
if I say you ask me how I'm doing, and I say, it's not a great day. Oh, it'll be better tomorrow. Don't feel. I have completely shut you off from my brain, and
Oh,
I might
wow.
not answer a text that you give to me the next time. What you say to them, if I say I'm not having a great day, all you do is validate. I can't imagine. I bet you aren't. I can't
Mm,
imagine what you're going through. Here
mm.
for you if you need me. Then put your phone away. Do not keep texting.
Ah,
Validate. Validate that it's okay to have a bad day. And it
I
is.
love it. I
It
love it.
is. It
Oh
is.
my gosh, I really love it. Michelle,
Yeah.
that is so priceless. And you were right. What a perfect time to share. I
Yes.
myself, I, I've seen a lot of loss in the last
Yeah.
3 months, right?
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
not, thank God, it's just been around me, but I have,
But that still
anyway.
affects you. It still does because
Oh,
it's a loss of someone, a friend. It's a loss of memories with that friend
yes,
and your
yes,
future goals with them, what you thought you might be doing later on. Loss is loss. It doesn't have to be so affected just me. Loss is
right.
loss. And
Yes.
I don't believe, and like we were talking in the beginning, when we were younger, we were told, buck it up, pull your big girl panties up, deal with it,
Yeah.
remember our
Yes.
parents, stop
Yes.
crying. If you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about.
Right. Right.
Crying
Right.
is probably one of the healthiest emotions we can do. When we
Mm,
cry,
mm.
we drain emotions, and that's exactly what you want to have happen during a time of
Wow.
loss. The draining of emotions.
Well, let me ask you this. So you said you do your widow group
Mhm.
once a month. Is that it?
I do a Zoom the last Thursday of the month.
Okay.
In fact, I think I may do it this Thursday. It's not the last of the month, but I might
Yeah.
do it this Thursday and next Thursday because next Thursday is New Year's Eve, another trigger holiday.
Right.
Do you have anybody you're going to be going out with? Everybody else is going to a party. You don't have a date. I mean, it could. So I'm going to do something, and I'll get into your group, and I'll put the link in there. I may do something this
Yes.
Thursday just
Yes.
because it might be a tough week for people.
Absolutely.
And then I have a group that I'm tweaking right now where you can just come in, say, I'm having a hard day. People are going to validate you. If you
Mm.
need a place to vent, and we are
Yes.
perfect strangers. Sometimes
Yes.
venting to perfect strangers is a lot easier than venting to your loved ones.
Oh, that's exactly right.
It's
Because you can
true.
talk about the people who
It's
you think
true.
aren't supporting you or whatever.
And know that you're not alone, that there are other family members who may or may not treat you differently, that want to fix you. You can't
Yes.
fix anybody during this time of loss. And this time of
Wow.
loss, there is no time. There's no timeline to grief. There isn't,
Wow. Oh,
you know.
Michelle, so powerful. So
Thank you.
powerful. I just
Thank you.
love that.
Well, I love my last
Okay.
name, Powers.
That's what I thought. How
There you go.
amazing. Goes with your
Yeah,
last
yeah,
name, but it
yeah,
really is.
yeah.
Okay,
So
so enjoyed it. Thank you for
you're
giving
very
us time. I
welcome.
know you have company and it's the holidays, but that was just such a beautiful share. I'll
Yeah.
get this posted so other people
Okay.
can enjoy it too.
Yeah,
Thank you for
reach
your
out.
time.
You're welcome. You have a very blessed holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to all who are celebrating just the celebration of this time of year. Know that giving forward, paying it forward, giving empathy and compassion is really the best gift you can give someone who's having a tough time. A tough time.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. So
See you later.
appreciate it.